is CTV News.
Good evening, I'm Sanjay. Maru. Thanks for joining us. Windsor police have made an arrest in the home invasion and robbery of an elderly resident in Forest Glade.
Hello. Your name is Henry?
Yeah, is happening.
What's your employee number?
397.
And your password?
Happiness.
Good enough. Perfect. Yeah.
Police releasing this surveillance video in October after an elderly resident on Palms Crescent near Banwell and EC Row was defrauded of $8,500. The next day, authorities say the suspect returned, demanded more money, and when the resident refused, the suspect forced his way into the house and assaulted the resident, the victim suffering significant but non-life-threatening injuries. Today, police say they have arrested 19-year-old Sebastian Sanchez Corrales in Brantford. He was brought back to Windsor and has been charged with multiple offenses, including breaking and entering, fraud, and assault with a weapon. A corrections officer working at the Southwest Detention Center has been charged with sexual assault. Windsor police say there may be more victims, and today they released the name of the person accused in this case. Police have charged 47-year-old Christopher Rylette with sexual assault and 3 counts of breach of trust. Authorities allege a female inmate at the Southwest Detention Center was sexually assaulted at the jail. They believe the alleged offenses happened between May and November of this year. The CEO was assigned to supervise female inmates at the time. Police say again there may be more victims who have not come forward. Anyone with complaints is requested to contact Windsor Police, and anyone with information is asked to make an anonymous tip to Crime Stoppers. OPSU, which represents corrections officers, did not respond to our request for comment. Meanwhile, Ontario's Ministry of the Solicitor General declined to make any comment as this matter is now before the court. Meanwhile, a Toronto area transport truck driver will have to wait until the new year for his sentence in a careless driving causing death case. 30-year-old Lovepreet Singh has already pled guilty after a September 2022 crash that killed 2 people when his transport struck their vehicle from behind near Bell River Road. Singh was on trial for dangerous driving when he entered the guilty plea to the lesser offense. His lawyer is seeking 9 months in jail, the Crown asking for 18, and he could also face a lengthy driving ban. Court heard yesterday a jail term could affect his immigration status. Sentencing is set for January 15th. Well, speed cameras are no longer in operation in cities across Ontario. Legislation taking effect today that requires municipalities to shut them down. This despite pleas from some cities to keep them operational. CTV's Allison Hurst has more.
Speed cameras save lives.
Walking a marathon by lapping the plaza that houses Premier Doug Ford's constituency office.
Cameras save life. Do the right thing, Doug Ford. Do the right thing.
Members are calling on him to change his mind about turning off automated speed cameras.
Isn't he allowing people to break the law by removing these cameras, which simply catch people doing what they're not supposed to do?
While it's just a small group of walkers, with just 2 planning to go the entire 42.2 kilometers, organizers Thomas DeVito and Jess Speaker brought a petition with almost 10,000 signatures to his office.
Well, this office is supposed to be staffed from 9 to 4.
There was no answer, so they slid the stack of names under the door.
I mean, I just think it's emblematic. We're knocking, but nobody's answering. This is how thousands of Ontarian parents have felt over the course of the last month and a half.
Vowing to keep the fight going as long as it takes.
The Premier does not have a monopoly on being stubborn. Parents all across this province are stubborn as hell when it comes to the well-being and the safety of our children, and we are going to walk until we have no more shoe leather to fight and save this program.
I can't understand why any elected official would think that playing games with children's safety is acceptable. It's not.
As of midnight, speed cameras across the province went dark, putting an end to a program a Sick Kids study found reduces speeding by 45%, and the Premier has called a tax grab.
We know that speed cameras works. It protects our children in school zones.
Mayor Olivia Chow says without the money from fines, other safety measures lack funding.
We're talking about 911 crossing guards and 18 police officers. That funding is now gone as of today.
The province has promised $210 million to support other safety measures such as speed bumps, raised sidewalks, signage, and roundabouts, adding it would make $42 million available immediately for areas that previously had speed cameras.
This has been used as a revenue generation tool when it shouldn't have been, and that's why we've stepped up and today, just to the City of Toronto alone, given $10 million for real effective measures that will replace speed cameras.
This group says this decision has made the province less safe.
The speed cameras make a difference, and I can't even believe that they're taking them away.
These members vowing not to give up the fight. Allison Hurst, CTV News.
For the second time since the start of this school year, a public school board trustee in Windsor, Essex, has resigned. Nancy Armstrong, who represents Leamington and Pelee Island, stepping down earlier this month, according to a letter that's included in the agenda for the next meeting of school board trustees. That's on Tuesday. Armstrong's resignation letter says she found, quote, deeply troubling information related to the controversial Kingsville school naming process. She says some trustees were already aware of those details, yet still supported a restorative justice process she now calls a performance. Armstrong had been sanctioned earlier this year for comments she made about the naming process. The departure comes weeks after longtime trustee Ron LeClaire also resigned. U.S. President Donald Trump is dropping reciprocal tariffs on a wide range of foods, including beef, coffee, and tropical fruit. Trump signing an executive order today to eliminate the tariffs as consumers complain grocery prices are too high. Record high beef prices have been a particular concern to shoppers. The executive order also removes tariffs on tea, fruit juice, cocoa, spices, bananas, oranges, tomatoes, and certain fertilizers. Trump and his administration have long insisted tariffs do not increase consumer prices, despite economic evidence to the contrary. Well, the doors are officially open at Lasalle's first ever McDonald's. The fast food restaurant is the first of many businesses expected to be developed at the Shops at Heritage Plaza. CTV's Bob Belichico takes a look at where the entire project is now.
Welcome to McDonald's Sandwich Parkway.
People lined up before 11 Friday morning to check out the first business to open in the Shops at Heritage Plaza.
I've been saying for years that this area needs a Tim Hortons, a McDonald's, all this. I love it. I like it.
We've hired actually 70 people, and we've taken 30 people from our other locations that have sort of transferred here. So we've hired elsewhere, and we look forward to being part of the fabric of the community here.
According to developer Scott Demore, the project is moving along faster than anticipated.
We were just over there on this site a few months ago doing groundbreaking, and at that time there was no framing anything up even for this, and then in the matter of a few months to get everything up and built and then to get this open is unbelievable.
A shovel ceremony was held in July for the $200 million development, the largest in Lasalle's history. Now, a bird's eye view shows just how much this 24-acre site has transformed in the last 4 months, with the future homes of several stores now taking shape. A lot of excitement for this McDonald's to open today, which is the first tenant to open here on this property. On the north side of the building is a Tim Hortons, which Demore suspects will open sometime in December.
From there, it's just going to be one after the other, hopefully for the next, 8 months or so of opening of new businesses and different things. A lot of unique things for the town, too.
We've been here 7 years, and we always have to go to Windsor to grab everything, right? For the kids, so it's being everything close. We're going to have Shoppers, Tim's. It's going to be awesome for us. Everything's close by our house now, so we needed something like this for sure.
Demore says the development is now expected to see businesses employ up to 500 people, exceeding the original estimate of 400. The development is also looking to add a gas bar and name a hotel operator at some point.
It's nice to be able to walk or ride your bike to things and not have to go over to the Malden Road, and it helps with congestion there too. So this is really good for us.
Bob Belichico, CTV News.
It's a hassle many of us have to deal with every day, getting those annoying text emails that are connected to fraudulent activity. A new survey finds that texting scams have jumped 50% in the past year, and you may be surprised to find out which age group is most at risk. CTV's Pat Foran explains.
Many of us are bombarded with fake texts on a daily basis. It could be a message that looks like it's from your bank or a bogus delivery from Canada Post. And if you think you're getting more unsolicited texts and messages, you're right. A new Consumer Reports Cyber Readiness Report finds text scam attempts are up by 50%. And it might surprise you, they're growing the fastest among Gen Zers.
Scammers are trying to rip off young adults.
18 to 29-year-olds are getting scammed at record levels, and reports of text scam attempts from Gen Zers tripled.
And it makes sense. They text a lot. It's a primary form of communication, and they have instant access to money on their phone.
The survey also found lower-income households were 3 times as likely to lose money from scams. One way to try and protect yourself is to make payments using a credit card.
Credit cards are safer than many other payment methods because you have a right to request a chargeback when fraudulent transactions occur. Consumers who do not use credit cards have fewer rights to dispute fraud when it occurs.
Other ways to protect yourself: don't reply to random or unsolicited texts. Responding confirms your number is active, so fraudsters might keep bugging you or sell your number. Instead, block the number and mark it as spam. Next, cut down on text spam before it reaches you. Check with your phone carrier. Most offer free tools to filter or block unwanted messages. Also, watch out for phishing scams. Be suspicious of requests for personal information from text, emails, or messaging apps. If the message seems urgent or time-sensitive, that's another red flag. Finally, when shopping online, use a credit card. Other payment options may not offer the same protections. Pat Foran, CTV News.
Coming up, before you start your holiday shopping, a warning sign from Canadian consumers. A new survey shows many are bracing for higher prices, cutting back on gifts, travel, and decorations. Gary is off tonight, so we're joined by CTV weather specialist Rita Ismail with a full look at the forecast. Hello, Rita.
Good to be with you tonight, Sanjay. Our high 13 degrees under sunny skies. It was a beautiful day right across Windsor, Essex today, above what's normal this time of year, which is 9 degrees, but didn't hit the record. That was 19 in 1956. Overnight, we dropped down to 1. Heading into tonight, though, we're staying on the mild side. Our overnight temperatures hovering around 5 degrees. You can see cloud cover starting to increase ahead of a weather maker that is going to approach southwestern Ontario by tomorrow morning. And with that will come lots of cloud cover, a bump in our temperatures. We're looking at a daytime high for tomorrow of 17 degrees for us and the chance for some showers. Now, the probability for us at about 40%, and it will happen between noon and 4 p.m. If you do have plans to travel along the 401 into London or Toronto, you will be dealing with a bit of a heavier rainfall with some embedded thunderstorm activity. But for us, it appears that we clear out through the system at about supper time, and then mostly cloudy conditions heading into your Sunday. Mix of sun and clouds Sunday afternoon. Let's plan out your Saturday. So mild morning, 10 degrees around 8 a.m. The winds will pick up. That's another story with this system. In advance of the warm front, we're looking at wind gusts of up to 40 kilometers per hour out of the southwest. Passing shower or two possible around noon, 1 o'clock, and then mainly cloudy throughout the rest of your Saturday. 17 degrees the daytime high, and of course that is above what is normal for us this time of year. Sunday, we drop right back down to 6 degrees below seasonal, but we'll see a nice mix of sun and cloud for your Sunday and Monday. Overnight temperatures Monday and Tuesday morning on the chillier side, -2 and -4, recovering to -6, or rather 6 degrees Wednesday, mix of sun and cloud. And then a week from today, we're anticipating another system to move through. It will bring with it more warmth. We're expecting to hit 12 degrees a week from today under some light rainfall. Sanjay?
The City of Windsor is looking for feedback on one-way streets. The city is considering to convert some of Windsor's one-ways in the downtown core back to two-way streets. Residents can access a virtual information center to learn about the project and provide feedback. A public open house is scheduled to discuss the potential change. That would be on Tuesday, November 25th, 4 p.m. at the Caboto Club. Windsor's unique connection to Detroit is the focus of a new book now on store shelves.
1,200 photos and illustrations in 400 pages, full color. And some of the black and white photos we turned into color. We colorized them so it brings them more to life.
Elaine Weeks and Chris Edwards of Walkerville Publishing have released their 10th book, A River Runs Between Us. The project took 7 years with the pandemic pause when they could not cross the border for research. Work resumed after restrictions were lifted, and they finished the book in late 2024. To mark the launch, they've teamed up with the Chimchuk Museum for a special exhibit featuring artifacts and historical photos. The book's release and the exhibit come as cross-border relations face new tensions, though authors say that timing is coincidental. The story ends in 2024, before President Trump was inaugurated. The parliamentary budget officer is criticizing Mark Carney's economic plan before the budget has even been approved. Judy Trin has more on the questions raised over the government's accounting.
There is one figure all sides agree on. Budget 2025 comes with a whopping $78 billion deficit. Parliament's budget watchdog says that digging out of the hole will be harder than the Liberal government is letting on.
We think that the definition the government's used around capital investments is overly expansive. And in particular, they've thrown some things in there, some categories of spending, which other jurisdictions in other countries would not typically include.
Under Mark Carney, the budget is split into operational costs, day-to-day expenses like the salaries of public servants, versus capital investments, such as long-term funding for major projects.
The United States has changed. That's their right. We must respond. That is our imperative. And the budget builds Canada strong by focusing on what we can control.
Despite the record deficit, the finance minister says the government will balance the operating side in 3 years and shrink the deficit to GDP ratio starting next year.
100% of our MPs oppose the costly Carney credit card budget that is going to drive up the cost of food, housing, and living.
The government's categorization of $311 billion in capital investments is significantly higher than the watchdog's number of $217 billion. It's a difference of $94 billion that the budget officer says should be added to operational costs, making it less likely for the government to balance that side of the ledger.
In fact, over the 5-year horizon, the operating budget would not be balanced at all.
The budget watchdog is recommending that independent experts determine exactly what is a capital investment, given how subjective the definition can be. As for Monday, Parliament resumes, and the public should brace for another round of confidence votes on the budget. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Canada's main stock index creeping higher on strength in the energy and technology sectors. In Toronto, the TSX gaining 73 points. In New York, the Dow falling 310, the Nasdaq up 30. The Canadian dollar is down a modest 0.04 cents. And on commodity markets, gold loses $100 an ounce, while oil adds $1.40 a barrel.
Cancer for a Cause is back for its 22nd year.
Join us as we broadcast live from Devonshire Mall.
We'll be collecting cash and non-perishable food items for the Society of St. Vincent de Paul.
We need your help, generosity, and goodwill.
Visit us online for more information.
Essex County residents are being asked to rock their stash and help raise money for cancer care at Erie Shores Healthcare in Leamington. The Erie Shores Foundation's Stash campaign runs now through early December. Participants grow beards and mustaches, and this year, hospital officials say one woman is shaving her head to support the oncology program. All funds will go toward expanding cancer care. The hospital currently has 6 oncology treatment suites and hopes to grow this program. Last year, the Stash campaign raised more than $32,000 to help bring urology care back to Erie Shores. The campaign is primarily online. A local nonprofit supporting people with intellectual disabilities says it's now better prepared for future challenges thanks to funding from the Ontario Trillium Foundation.
We provide a vast range of services, anywhere from accommodation supports, 24-hour supported group living, supported independent living, short breaks, respite options for families, community participation. We also provide employment support.
Community Living Essex County received a $104,000 grant 18 months ago through the Resilient Community Fund. The fund supports nonprofits develop new approaches to generate revenue, start new activities to meet community needs, adjust strategies, and plan for future challenges. This comes in advance of some government programs providing funding directly to individuals with disabilities to manage their own attendant care instead of funding organizations. Community Living supports 700 people in Essex County. Well, the Christmas season is nearly upon us, and a new survey has found many Canadians plan to cut back on holiday shopping this year. 3 in 5 say they plan to adjust their spending plans amid concerns about tariff-related inflation. CTV's John Venevali-Rao has more.
At Toronto's Eaton Centre, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. And with the holiday season fast approaching, some shoppers already crossing names off their list.
We're just getting ready. We already have our trees up. We're doing some shopping today. We're going to hit some other malls as well and do some shopping.
And the survey offering a snapshot of how Canadians plan to spend amid worries about tariffs, the job market, and inflation.
I think things are really expensive right now, so I'm probably going to be cutting back a little bit this year, or budgeting well, or just making sure I'm buying things on like Black Friday.
The survey by BMO finding 41% plan to cut back on holiday spending and 15% budgeting to shell out more on gifts, anticipating higher prices due to tariffs.
It is concerning that, everything is more expensive.
Some said they plan to buy more Canadian-made products to avoid tariffs, while a quarter said they started shopping early to avoid potential tariff-related price increases. And respondents on average plan to spend $2,300, which includes travel and food.
There's this general just concern from Canadians of just maybe needing to be really fiscally responsible over the holidays, because there's still a little bit of uncertainty of where things are headed next year.
As for where Canadians may cut spending, holiday decorations, travel, and dining out were top items.
I'm finding the prices have gone up so much, just even food. So I think this year definitely spending a lot less on presents in general.
A separate survey recently found more than half of Canadians feel anxious about affording the holidays, and 61% don't feel financially prepared for them.
Meanwhile, a quarter of those surveyed by BMO said they plan to cut back on the number of people on their holiday gift list. John Venevali-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
The top team in the OHL's Western Conference suffering another heartbreaking loss tonight.
Whoa, bad turnover from Greentree. McLean scores! 6:05 to go! Officer McLean to the rescue!
McLean. The Guelph Storm taking on the visiting Windsor Spitfires. The Storm dominated the first period up 3-0, but the Spits would not go down without a fight, scoring 4 goals in response. So heading into the third period, it was all tied up, 4 goals apiece, but Guelph stormed ahead with a shorthanded goal early in the final period. Cole Davis scoring the final goal for Windsor before Guelph responded with 3 straight goals. Final score 8-5 for Guelph. Tough break for the Spits as they now have a week off before returning to the ice. A weekend circled on every Canadian football fan's calendar is almost here. It's the Grey Cup, and fans, they are pumped. CTV's Daniel Halmerson has more.
Grey Cup weekend in Winnipeg is here, and die-hard CFL fans are showing up in droves.
Go Riders, go!
While the big game between Saskatchewan and Montreal goes Sunday, there's plenty happening beforehand.
To be able to now invite everybody here, witness our fan base firsthand, and really experience kind of what the Winnipeg CFL market's all about is really special. I'm really excited.
The party starts right at the airport with a group of volunteers putting the friendly in friendly Manitoba, welcoming football fans coming from out of town.
We're feeling just great. Yeah, so for me, it's my 52nd, and Sandy, I guess it's about 30 or 35th Grey Cup game, and the weather's going to be -5, -6, sunny.
The convention center's the place to be for live concerts, team party rooms, and even a chance to catch up with some CFL stars.
See how much fun this actually is, though, to see how many
how much fun that people actually have. You know, I've never seen this side of it. You know, I'm always hyper-focused. Like I said, I've been blessed to be able to play in 5 Grey Cups. Never seen this part of the Grey Cup.
And over at the University of Winnipeg is a free festival with plenty of fun lined up for the whole family.
Go inside and you've got the TELUS CFL fan experience, which is kind of combine-style drills, so you can really test your skills to see if you'd make it in the CFL.
And while some fans have a little more stake in Sunday's championship showdown, they all agree this weekend comes down to a love of the game.
The fact that you can go anywhere and somebody might be rooting for a specific team, but they're all CFL fans.
Just relax and just experience it, because there's a lot going on and everyone's here to have a good time. Doesn't matter what their team colors are.
Daniel Halmerson, CTV News, Winnipeg.
You can watch the 112th Grey Cup live from Winnipeg Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on TSN and CTV. And Rita is back with a final look at weather. Rita.
Sanjay, the chance for some light rainfall is in store for Saturday, but the temperature will climb to 17 degrees. It's associated with this warm front that will swing through. In behind it, a cold front, and that will drop our temperature back down to 6 degrees for your Sunday. So if you're looking for sunshine and cooler conditions, Sunday's the better half of the weekend for you. Mix of sun and cloud on Monday, 8 degrees, and then we hold on to 6 throughout the middle of the work week. Mostly cloudy to a mix of sun and cloud. We're expecting to stay dry Sunday through to Wednesday before the next weather maker pushes through late next week. Scattered showers Thursday afternoon. Our temperature starts to climb and we'll hit 12 degrees on Friday with light rainfall in the forecast. Sanjay?
A Toronto Blue Jay is the winner of Major League Baseball's first ever Entertainer of the Year award, and most fans probably agree they made the right choice.
Hit well to deep left center, and this one will go.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. giving fans plenty to cheer about during a sparkling season by the slugging first baseman. He helped his team win its first American League East pennant since 1993. A writer for the MLB saying Vladdy captivated the sport with his on-field and off-field theatrics. And finally tonight, a group of people on a boat could not believe what was happening when a seal, desperate to escape a pod of whales, did this.
Oh, you poor thing. I am shaking right now. He is on board. He is not trying to get off. He is on our boat. You're good. Just stay, buddy.
This was off an island in Washington state earlier this month. A group of photographers were watching some orcas, which decided it was time for a snack, but the seal was having none of it and jumped onto the boat. The whales took off after about 20 minutes. When the photographers began heading back to shore, the seal eventually jumped back into the water. And that is your news for tonight. Thank you as always for watching this edition of Windsor's News Leader. We'll see you right back here on Monday at 6 and 11.